Okay.
What's the form? What's the message?
What's the message? What's the theme? Have we got a theme tune?
We will have.
Yeah. What, a unique one?
Mm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I know someone who can do that. It's part of the production team.
Yeah. Welcome to the first pod. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Cara.
And we're rudimental.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Although that's not really the point of the title. It's just a happy coincidence. So yeah, we're going to be chatting about things that might be rude or mental, but it's a lot to do with our background.
Being rudimental.
That and the fact that we're not just, waffling on without any kind of insight, I guess.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, you're a qualified professional.
On paper.
Yeah. What do you do?
As little as possible. Well, I'm a qualified midwife, but I don't do that anymore.
No.
I'm a PPE queen.
PPE queen.
Yeah, but I have got actual letters after my name.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. As a qualified psychotherapist. And it's kind of a shared background because obviously you did midwifery. I have looked after women's mental health, women's issues, and worked as a doula.
I forgot you were a doula.
It's quite a significant portion of my work.
I did actually forget that.
Yeah, up until COVID.
I was going to say it's quite a while ago, and then you said up until COVID. I'm like, no, that's not a long time ago, but actually it is.
It is, yeah. Yeah, well, I think I did my last birth, like, maybe 2022.
Really? That recent?
Yeah, I think that was my last birth I did.
Why did I think it was years ago?
A lot has happened. Looks quite different now to it did in 2022.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Ultimately, it'd be nice if we had guests on as well, so it's not just us. Get different perspectives on things. Maybe get a bit of engagement from people online as well. Might be interested in some things.
They might.
I mean, we're both middle-aged.
Yeah.
We're both women.
Yeah.
Both mums.
Yeah. There is that.
Both menopausal.
Very.
Well, I'm post-menopausal now.
Yeah, but you breezed through it.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I don't know. I didn't really notice it that much. I was really lucky. Yeah, you had a hard time.
Fucking awful. Honestly, I think we should do a segment called Ailment of the Week.
Yeah, but you're still going through it as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Honestly, Ailment of the Week could be brilliant because there's so many.
Yeah. No, I got I mean, I did, like, in terms of like gynecological stuff. I had like my endometriosis saga for a while, but other than that,
Say saga, like there was nothing major that happened.
Well, no, I mean, I did nearly die. Yay! Not the first time that you've rushed to hospital with me in a bad situation, but
no, that was the chicken soup saga.
Yeah.
But the night you nearly died from endometriosis, I was in Chicago's in Southend with Emma Jane pouring tequila down my neck. Because that's how you deal with major traumatic events, isn't it?
Yeah. That was ages ago. When would that have been?
1999?
1999.
Yeah. I only went in for a lap and die. And I literally got the die.
They stuck to one part of it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why you had an easy menopause, because you had all of the shit beforehand.
Yeah, I guess it's yin and yang, and it all goes up at the end of the day.
Whereas, yeah, I've had I had adenomyosis, so I've had shit, but like menopause, honestly, fucking brutal.
Yeah, but then Mum had a rough time with menopause as well.
Yeah, but she had everything whipped out in one go.
She did. And young as well.
Yeah, she was only like 30.
Mid-30s. 35, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had my uterus whipped out,
Yeah.
which was absolute bliss.
Yeah. Is that all, like, did that solve stuff? But you've had symptoms of menopause since.
Yeah, because I kept my ovaries.
Yeah.
Because he said that he didn't want to plunge me into menopause, but I had a hysterectomy and went
slid straight into menopause.
Might as well have just taken the whole lot.
Oh no, because I think
no, it's a lot harsher.
It's
when
brutal because it's like sudden
out.
end.
Yeah.
No, I don't know whether it was because I had kids late, like my fourth and last when I was 40. Hang on. What am I this year? 52. Naren's going to be done. I can't do maths. Was I 41? I was 41 when I had her in. Maths isn't my strong suit.
What year was she born?
15. So I paused there. I had 4 kids. So I was like, it's a nightmare when I get asked my kid's date of birth, and I'm like,
okay, so yeah, so 41.
I was 41 when I had her, and because I don't know whether that was part of it, that I'd given birth, quite late, and then because my kids were breastfed forever, and I just sort of went from lactation, slid into menopause, and I didn't really notice it. I mean, I look back and I think I did have symptoms like the brain fog and the rage, like the mood swings, but then I was in the thick of mothering like little kids, so like that's par for the course. It's kind of crazy anyway.
Yeah.
Anxiety as well. You used to get those like if I could literally feel like the cortisol dumping into my bloodstream for no reason.
But I've always had anxiety. Like that's always been a thing. I've always suffered with anxiety. But now it's like just heightened massively. And I think probably coinciding with menopause, but a couple of years ago is when I think that anxiety started really creeping up to the point where I barely went out last year.
I think anxiety is one of the symptoms that doesn't get talked about an awful lot of it in menopause, actually. Because it can be really like debilitating. Everyone like just sort of brushes menopause off as like getting hot sweats and
oh, a bit of a hot flash
and being hormonal.
I hate it when people say hot flash as well. Sorry.
Hot flash.
Yeah. What?
No, I don't like it. What? That's what. Like, it's weird.
It's a flush. Literally, my bugbear a few weeks ago when I went down a massive rabbit hole about employment laws.
Yes.
And how menopause is not taken into consideration, and how there should be like a health and safety at work, employment kind of monitoring of women, not monitoring of women,
but
like
data monitoring.
Yeah, of like women between like 35 and 55, and how there should be some kind of adjustment at work.
For reasonable adjustments for other health conditions, because like women make up 51% of the population, and we all go through menopause.
And one of the statistics that I read was that women in that age bracket are, I can't remember the
statistics about the how many women leave employment,
or are dismissed,
they lose their
jobs between that age gap, purely for the impact that menopause has. Have some painkillers and some antidepressants,
paracetamol, some SSRIs, and have you thought about losing weight? I mean, I can't remember. Obviously, endometriosis has been in the news a bit recently as well, and nothing's changed. In fact, it's got worse. I think the time for average diagnosis of endometriosis has got longer. When I was diagnosed, that was in the 90s,
Yeah.
and it's
And
actually
adenomyosis is even less known about. And
yeah.
it's like,
well, I haven't heard of it until you got diagnosed with it.
no, it is like the cousin of endometriosis, and it's debilitating. Like, it really, really does massively impact. You know, I've many a time I've been at work, and like when I was on labour ward, when you're on labour ward as a midwife, you can be in a room for 12 hours straight. You know, like, you might get a break if you're lucky, but you can't leave a room when you're doing one-on-one care. You can't leave a room. You can't, like, especially if that woman's high risk, which on the labour ward you're more likely to be. And you can't just go, right, I'm popping to the toilet, back soon. Like, you can't do that.
No.
And the amount of time I have flooded through scrubs on my uniform or whatever, and it's you know, you kind of feel a bit bad, because you're like, oh, sorry, love, you know, just got to put up with this. But
I know there's not any understanding. Also, again, like with menopause, like the flooding that you can get in menopause as well. Just there's no real understanding of, like, it's the embarrassment of it, it's the inconvenience, and there's not real understanding in general.
No, the brain fog is the worst. I mean, the fact I've already got ADHD doesn't really help, but so the brain fog's already there, but like, it's so much worse. And the fact that I think, because I was diagnosed with ADHD 2023, 2024, January 2024. So what am I now, 2 years on? And the brain fog, I then understood. But then to go from having that diagnosis to then going, okay, now you've got menopause as well, so the brain fog's just going to get worse, and just forgetting just entire chunks of vocabulary.
And obviously, if you're like working, especially, well, in any job really, but you know, especially if you've got to retain information, you've got to communicate effectively, if you've got any sort of responsibility, like as a midwife, or it's not ideal.
But funnily enough, that was the one place that I felt like I had nailed it.
What do you mean?
Like, I could do that job standing on my head.
Right.
Because it's high pressure.
Yeah.
And like, ADHD brains
it
function
just
well,
kicks into gear, and
I have got this under control. Tell me to go somewhere and find parking, absolute meltdown.
I think when people talk about our cohort around our age of women that are being diagnosed with ADHD or autism, or a combination of both, I think that cohort are just moving into menopause. And
because it all gets heightened. Every single symptom gets heightened. You're so much more aware of it. Absolutely all of it becomes massively overwhelming. I mean, I was near on a breakdown in November. Just like the complete and utter overwhelm of my job, life, juggling everything, being in constant pain, just everything. It was just so much to deal with. And my ADHD stopped, my medication stopped working. So when you think that was kind of helping me ride along, and then that stops working for no reason whatsoever, and then go to the GP, who just tell me, go and have some bloods done, which don't read true either, because when you're in perimenopause, you're
still fluctuating.
Your estrogen levels are fluctuating, so that doesn't read true. So I mean, how bad is that? I ended up having to go to a private GP to get HRT to make my ADHD medication work, so that my brain could function, so that I could just live a normal life.
Yeah, I know. It's rude, isn't it?
And mental.
And it does, and the strain that it puts on your mental health then, because you know that you're not functioning. You know that you're like losing control over aspects of your life that you were once functioning in, and it just gets compounded, and it can end up. And I know, I was reading that menopause is only just being recognised, how the increase in diagnosable mental health conditions occur within menopause as well. So not just things like ADHD, but things like bipolar disorder. There's a huge uptick in women getting diagnosed with, clinical depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions in menopause that we just kind of ignored, and it's like half of the population.
Yeah, and then you've got the other half of the population going, why is everyone getting diagnosed neurodivergent these days?
Yeah.
Why is everyone jumping on a bandwagon?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's not a fun bandwagon to be on.
It's not really. No, it's
not like a party bus. Although, wouldn't that be great?
Oh, Menopause Party Bus.
Party Bus.
It's a bunch of 45-year-old women skanking, trying to forget about the fact that they're menopausal. A new world, having a daughter, like 3 boys and then a girl at the end. I mean, I'm used to, just finding random broken things when the boys were small. Be like, who broke this? And they're like, oh, no. But Erin, it's like getting like my hood or my Mac palette out, and it's like got a big gouge out of it. And I'm like, Erin, have you been in my makeup? No. Clearly you have. Please don't.
I don't think it's one of the 3 teenage boys.
Please don't touch. You like rubbish stuff. Like, I'm like can experiment with that, but please. And she's only 10, for goodness sake. No, but yeah, it was waking her up to find her like an Oompa Loompa. Bright orange hands. She looked like she'd been prepped.
What did she put on?
So it was just self-tanning body lotion, but it was like and she'd like in secret slathered herself on it, and she looked like she'd been prepped for surgery. She looked like she had iodine on her hands. I was like, oh no.
Did she know it was like a tanning lotion?
Yes.
Oh, she just didn't realise that she needed to wash her hands. Oh, poor Erin.
I mean, to be fair, the coverage on her face was pretty even. It was quite remarkable. It's better than I've seen a lot of grown women do.
She just looked like an Oompa Loompa.
But she just had bright orange hair. Do you remember the tango ad? That's what her hands look like.
Oh, Geordie!
Oh, yes, we could be in for a quintessential tango taste sensation here. Why, yes, Geordie, let's look again.
That's what it looked like. It was just like, she's like woken up. No. And then she's gone like.
Was she trying to deny it?
Yeah, and then she's like looked up. I've got a confession. I did actually use a toner. She was like, no shit. Such a big
I still
thing.
don't know how to contour.
Me neither. No.
I have no clue.
No.
And there is like 12, 13-year-olds that literally do like
I know, they look like
full contour.
professional makeup artists.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just
But I think also,
part of
I mean, that's
everyday
the thing
life.
that's been in the news. So the government are talking about at the moment about having like children not having access to social media, and they I don't know how it's controversial, but they've just put out guidance about devices use for children, saying that under 5 should be limited to an hour a day.
Under 5s.
Under 5s limited to an hour a day. But it is backed up by research. Under 2.
No, but I'm sorry, but what under 5s have got device? Do you mean like pads and things?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who's got an iPhone at 4?
No, I think there are some. Not in my house. Well, I mean, and that's the other thing. Like I remember, because my eldest is 19 and the youngest is 10, and even in that short space of time, it's changed so much. And obviously, but it's the same. Like, because when you've got younger ones that have got older siblings, it's harder to sort of limit what they do.
So what's the legislation then, and how?
Well, it's not legislation, and this is what so the government have put out guidance, as governments do, giving health advice and stuff, and because the research shows that children under 2 shouldn't have any screen time. and it has a neurological effect on them, and the under fives it should be severely limited to under a maximum of an hour a day. And I think they were just talking about in general, but I think also like educational access. What I think it just changed so much during, I think when we shut down in COVID, we forced everyone into houses and all kids learning was put onto online. And we were, I mean, it was crazy. I'm like trying to work, like their dad was trying to work. I was like trying to manage schooling. I mean, I would have had an Ofsted rate and it would have just been,
you've been shut down.
I would have been shut down. When you're already, especially, you know, if you're a family that's like just a busy household, you've got, you know, the parents are working full time, you know, you're already under the cosh, and you just, you know, to have an additional like point of resistance where you're trying to get your kids off of these things when it's kind of been normalized now and it's been bombarded and all of the kids are expecting it. So I think on that, from that respect, it's a good thing that they're talking about this bill about what they've done elsewhere about restricting access to social media platforms to, is it 16 I think they're proposing?
Well, it's always been 14, hasn't it?
But no, it's about not like, you know, like how they've brought in like with the pornography that you can't access it without verifying age.
Yeah.
They're going to do, that's what I think they're proposing for just, you know, social media access in general.
Yeah, because it's always been, are you older then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And they can just put their like date of birth.
Change your date
in.
of birth, just scroll back a bit.
Yeah.
But you have to do much more now.
Oh God, yeah. It's like
Wheel of Fortune. I was setting something up and I was like, do I put my birthday or your birthday? I was like, no, fuck that, I'm not scrolling all the way back to yours.
I was talking to a grown adult and their birthday year started with a 2 and I was like, what?
That used to blow my mind when I'd do a booking appointment at work and they'd be sitting in front of me and I can see you're an adult, I can see you're a grown up. I go, what's your date of birth? And they go 2000. I go, I'm sorry, what?
And I think that's the other thing as well. Like, I think kids are growing up more slowly now because they're not, the opportunity for them to have responsibility isn't there so much.
That's because no one can fucking afford to move out.
Exactly. I'm going to be like retired before I'm an empty nester. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, there's like, it was perfectly normal for us to leave home at 18.
Well, I mean, what were you, 17? I think I was 17.
I think I might have been, no, I think I'd already left home by the time I turned 18. I was like working at 17.
That's what I mean. You moved out when you were 17. Yeah, I moved out when I was 17.
Yeah. That's wild. I'm like...
It's mental. Because, yeah.
It was bad enough when number one went to university. Oh my God, what's he going to do? How's he going to cope without me? Growing up now is just, like I say, even in the past, like just like one, not even a full generation, it's changed so much because the opportunities to do things aren't there.
Actually, it's funny because we were having a conversation the other day about like social media and the impact that social media has had on kids growing up now and the generation coming through. And we were saying about how it's almost like eroded people's manners.
Yeah, again, I was listening to the radio and they were discussing about young people entering the workforce, and it was kind of divided. And you know, you can't generalize, but the amount of younger people that are sort of leaving school or university and they've got qualifications
but no people skills,
but really struggle with like, you know, the people skills. And I think it's a combination of different things in that I think there's less opportunities for young people to get part-time work. Like, it was really normal for, I mean, at 14, do you know, I was working in the cab office answering the phone.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, because we grew up in a pub as well, so there's more opportunities to socialise. But I mean, I love doing bar work. It's like that rite of passage of doing, you know,
pulling a pint and having to deal with the banter.
Yeah, and you know, those skills, and also having you know, learning how to follow instructions and understand like hierarchy and having a boss, you know, and doing as you're instructed to do, and if you don't do it right, you get told that it's wrong, and and you know, in a less sort of pressurized situation.
But also I think as well, now when you think about it, the generation that are now coming through that are leaving school, getting jobs, going to universities, they all started their senior school life in lockdown.
Yeah,
and
it's so hard.
I think has had a massive,
it's been huge,
massive impact.
Because I think like Max is coming up for 17, and he, yeah, that was literally his cohort that were going into senior school during lockdown, and so he didn't have that summer of transition, like in between, you know, when they finish year 6 and you let them start going to the park on their own, and
they had none of that.
They had none of that, and I think he's only kind of in the past year sort of really sort of caught up to where he should be in terms of, you know, like he will, you know, he'll go and he'll you know, he travels across London to go and meet his girlfriend and get on a train and a bus, and he'll travel independently now. But it's only really in the past years that he's done that. Whereas, you know, I think, yeah, like when my eldest started secondary school, he was getting a bus to another town to go to school.
Oh, Will was in year 9, I think, when lockdown happened.
Yeah.
Or going into year 9 because he was due to be like taking his options and things like that.
Yeah.
So so it's had a huge impact, and it's definitely affected people's skills, and I think that's part that, and I think it's also part the whole social media.
It's been compounded with social media, and and this just interacting less with people, and children interacting less with adults outside of their family as well.
I mean, even me, like I'm way less inclined to pick up the phone to somebody. I'd rather message, because it's like that barrier
and I think most young people now do not talk on the phone unless they absolutely have to.
No. And it's funny because that's me now, whereas Mum used to absolutely bollock me for being on the phone for hours.
I know. We're like dragging the phone around the corner so you can have a conversation in private with your mates.
Yeah.
And then like getting to the hour limit and hanging up and ringing again.
After 6 o'clock though. Yeah. Or was it unlimited after 6?
I can't remember. I think like that came in, didn't it? When it was just like...
Yeah. Because I remember when we left the pub.
I can remember when there weren't deals like that before. Like, when you, like, it was just a phone call.
I can remember reversing charges.
Oh my God, reversing charges. Or, or just like doing 3 rings to say that you got home.
Yeah, don't pick up or get charged.
Yeah, exactly. Or doing a reverse call charge, but not accepting the charges, so that they knew that you were phoning, because you'd be like, I'll phone you from the phone box at the end of the road when I get there, and you'd phone their house and you'd taken a reverse charge call. They'd get the call and they go, no thanks, but they knew that was you calling, so that you were there waiting for them at the end of the road.
I can still remember so many phone numbers. I can't remember anyone's now.
Oh, I wouldn't
but
know.
If I
can barely remember my own.
Well, yeah, exactly. But if I need to call somebody in 1991, absolutely fine. I can do that.
Yeah. Need to phone my dead grandparents? No problem.
Absolutely not a problem. I can do that off the top of my head. If I need to phone somebody in a house that they no longer live in, I'm there.
Yeah. How are we going to sign off? We've been rudimental. Like, subscribe. I can't even say it.
That you do.
Like, subscribe and share.
If you found any of this triggering, call Samaritans.
Get a grip.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you've been affected by any of the topics that we've discussed today, get a grip. Grow up, you pathetic human being.
Grow up.
Pathetic. No, just thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you have enjoyed what you have watched, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And that way we can get fucking rich.
Ka-ching!
Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. We've been rude and mental.